The girls are going to intro. 1 minute, I'll go intro and go just put it on him. I have like what's called lower thirds. You'll see. Put it on him. You'll see.
Good evening. Bogalusa City Council now come to order on the 6th day of June 2023 at 5:30 p.m. We will now have an invocation led by Keith Merle, Reverend Keith Merle, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Do we stand?
Let us bow our heads. Dear gracious God, once again we come thanking you, granting us the grace to be able to make the city hall to conduct city business. Dear God, you know what we need. And dear Master, we asking that you would please remove our egos, our stumbling block, the sin we try to bring our way. to try to prevent progress from happening in Bogalusa. Dear God, we ask that you would take control of the council. Dear God, we ask that you would regulate the mayor's mind and his entire staff. And dear God, we ask your special blessing upon everyone that's here today. And dear God, we come thanking you for this opportunity to be able to come to voice our concerns. And dear God, please help us to have a humble attitude. Dear God, that business will be done in decency and in order. All these and other blessings, in Jesus' name we pray. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Nation under God, indivisible. Here. 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 Now, y'all approve the minutes, May the 16th meeting. Y'all second. Second. Discussion on that motion is made by the second of the minutes from the last meeting by the public. There being none, any discussion by the council on the minutes from the last meeting. There being none, roll call please, by vote.
Councilwoman Temple. Mr. Harris.
Aye.
Councilman Evans.
Aye.
Vice President Douglas. Councilwoman Smith. Councilwoman Hicks.
Having no recognitions and awards tonight, we have a resolution to be introduced to you by Councilwoman Kate.
A resolution to amend resolution number 2231 to establish rules of procedures of the Bogalusa City Council meetings, and all Bogalusa Council committee meetings will be held in the council chambers unless chairman designates a different location. Now, this particular ordinance expounds upon, once again, our rule guidelines and rules and regulations in which President Kelly did read to you on tonight. These rules and regulations were initially established back in 2004 when Mr. Sampson was a council person. Then we did do a revision in 2018 and then again in 2019. And tonight, I would like to read to you the entire resolution. Whereas the Bogalusa City Council does amend Resolution 2231 of the Bogalusa City Charter, Section 209, Council Meetings and Rules. Section C does provide that the council shall determine its own rules and order of business, and all Bogalusa Council committee meetings will be held in the council chambers unless chairman designates a different location. And therefore be it resolved that this resolution replaces all resolutions dealing with rules and procedures for the Bogalusa City Council theretofore enacted and is effective at the next council meeting. Now therefore be it resolved, the City Council of the City of Bogalusa does hereby go on record as adopting the attached rules of procedure.
Have a motion?
Motion.
We have any public discussion on the ordinance that we just read to you? There being no public discussion, we have any further council discussion on the ordinance that we just read? We have no council discussion, I'll move roll call vote by roll call, please.
Councilwoman Temple. Aye. President Kelly.
Aye.
Councilman Urban.
Aye.
Councilwoman Hicks.
Aye.
Have an introduction, these are introductions of ordinance, it will not be voted on or discussed tonight, these are just introductions of ordinances. The first ordinance to be introduced to will be introduced to you by Councilman Irvin.
A ordinance to authorize the mayor of the city of Bogalusa to render professional engineering services with Meyer Engineering and Architect in connection with Bogalusa Sidewalk Phase 1 DOTD TAP AE project number NP 589. This will be up for public discussion in our next council.
Introduced to you tonight, introduced to you by Councilwoman Hicks.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Bogalusa to enter into a contract with the low bidder Cruz LLC for sand and gravel. This will be discussed at our next council.
Next ordinance to be introduced to you tonight, will be introduced to you by Councilwoman Smith.
In ordinance to amend section 10(3) of the city of Bogalusa code to provide for the operation of mobile ice cream vending within the city of Bogalusa.
The next ordinance to be introduced to you for the next meeting will be introduced to you by Councilwoman Temple.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to raise electrical permit fees from $30 to $40.
Next ordinance we're going to do will be introduction of ordinances to be adopted. The first ordinance to be introduced to you tonight will be introduced to you by Vice President Douglas.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to approve the city of Bogalusa beautification commission.
Motion.
Make a motion.
Motion's been made, we have a second. There's no second, ordinance fails, lack of second. Next ordinance to be introduced to you, will be introduced to you by Councilwoman Temple, Councilman Irvin.
A ordinance approving and adopting the city of Bogalusa operating budget and capital budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2023.
Have a motion? There is no motion. Ordinance fails, lack of motion. Next ordinance to be introduced to you by Councilwoman Temple.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a general service agreement between the city of Bogalusa and Brennan's Vending providing ATM services to the city of Bogalusa.
Have a motion? Got no motion? This ordinance advertised like the motion. Ordinance to be introduced to you tonight, to be introduced to you by Councilman.
Go home, folks. They don't want to do their job. Go home.
Ladies and gentlemen, please. Come on.
All right, let's go. It's so loud. I know what you're about.
Ask you like 3 times. Time I say get up, you gonna get up and handcuffs. Out, now.
Well, I'm gonna take this spot, D.
That's it. Mr. President, I believe you can get back on.
Now, would you take a seat, please?
Point of order.
Order, please. We get back to the meeting, please. Next,
Point of order, please.
there is no point of order, ma'am.
Yes, there is. I can call a point of
Article is denied. Approving the next ordinance to be introduced to you, will be introduced to you by Councilwoman Temple.
No. Yeah, we're on food trucks at the moment. Prior to introduce this ordinance, a lot of work went into the original. You've always had it. I want to let you know that. You always have food trucks. No. All we have to do is go to Louisiana Department of Health and Hospitals and get a food truck. With that said, I'm now going to introduce the ordinance, okay? What the ordinance is revising the ordinance, what the ordinance has been versus old and new. You can look in your packet. Was that to only change the rates, what we found out. Thank you very much. I didn't have to say that, but I'm just letting the public know what's going on with it. All right, an ordinance to amend Article IV, Division 2 of the City of Bogalusa Code to provide for operation of a food truck within the City of Bogalusa.
Motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion by the public on that ordinance that we just read to you about food trucks? Mr. Irvin, if you please read your ordinance again, sir.
Yes, sir. An ordinance to amend Article IV, Division 2 of the City of Bogalusa Code to provide for the operation of a food truck within the City of Bogalusa.
Any no discussion from the public, is there any discussion by the council?
Again, I want to say this very loud, that I'm in agreement, under a limited agreement about looking at the fees, but the fees are way too low on the food truck. This went through a lot of discussion over 1 year of meetings that was discussed with the public back then. With that said, I believe it should stay as it is today, with the exception of a review, should be reviewed about possibly looking into the possibility of adding food trailers that is attached to a vehicle. That's the only thing that I would think that should be changed for the food ordinance. And then you will see a noticeable difference in people coming and purchasing food licenses. Food trailers are very easily to get, and they are approved by the Louisiana Department of Health and Hospitals. Please, people, pick up the phone and call the Louisiana Department of Health and Hospitals. This is what you need to be lobbying for, and it really needs to go through planning and zoning to remove the restriction of food trailers, and you will see them lining up out there. And they'll gladly pay you $1,500. Now, the people that sit in those parking lots, $1,500 a year is what it costs, annually. I know people that sit in those parking lots that made $30,000 in 6 months. And I see some people in the food business here. I'm not. Y'all know that it's very possible when you have a good dish and you know what you're cooking, you're going to have them lining up like a bunch of cats. So keep that in mind, folks. But I believe it should stay like it is, and I believe it should go through our newly formed planning and zoning trailer restriction. That is how that I believe tonight, because it will cut into the revenue of the City of Bogalusa. I believe that the burden should not always be put on the citizens and taxpayers of their land and all. We should all serve an equal part. $1,500 a year is cheap. It's cheap to get a established food business. Thank you. That's my opinion to the council.
Any other council discussion? Call for a vote by roll call.
President Ellis.
Nay.
Council Irvin.
No.
Vice President Douglas. Councilwoman Smith.
Nay.
Councilwoman Hicks.
Ordinance failed.
Y'all have to speak louder, I can't hear you.
The ordinance failed by vote nay. That's going to conclude our business meeting for tonight. We'll now open it up for public participation. First person we have to speak to us tonight will be Stephen Jenko.
Stephen Genco, 1336 Saunders Drive, Bogalusa, Louisiana. Honorable President, Honorable Vice President, Honorable and Honorable Council members, and Honorable Secretary, good evening. I'm very saddened by what just happened. Very sad. So let me just be totally 100% honest. I know each one of you, and y'all are very honorable and respectable people. You got here, I think that was the right thing to do. But in closing, I want you to know that y'all were all elected. People thought enough about you to vote for you. Please don't lose that confidence. There's plenty of people in Bogalusa that supports the right thing. And I really believe in my heart that y'all do stand for what's right. Whether it's with me or against me, I will always respect the decisions that y'all make. That's what you were elected for. And again, thank everyone for their honesty.
Brian Genco.
29 George Mitchell, Brian Genco. I'm 64 years old. I have never experienced anything in my life. I've seen this on TV, but I've never experienced none of this. We know where it's going. Just because you agree to disagree or disagree to anybody the right to walk out because they don't get their way. Okay? No one's perfect, but the council has spoken. Our leader, our mayor, the city of Bogalusa, has turned his back on us. And we don't understand why. I would like for him to walk back in and tell us exactly what happened. Just because he didn't get his way. If anybody got messed up, it was me and my family. Did we walk out? No. We stood up and we did the right thing. Hold everybody and anybody accountable for anything. We were promised that division. You do understand.
Oh, yes, sir.
Unity and division. And we have not had any unity. I have went several times to try to meet with this gentleman. Several, from pastors to, I'm not going to call them organizations, to different people in the city, to try to straighten out our city, to work our problems out. The citizens of Bogalusa, the mayor refuses to sit down to talk about anything unless it goes his way. Well, I'm here to tell you one more thing. The citizens of Bogalusa runs this town, and you understand, if you don't get right, it's over. Thank you.
Ms. Gladys, please. Good evening.
My name is Mrs. Gladys Ramsden. I live at 19 Pearl Lane.
Turn your mic on. Turn your mic on.
Is it on? Good evening. My name is Mrs. Gladys Ramsden. I live at 1915 Rose Pearl Lane. I've been here for the last 2 years with the same problem. I'm the council telling me that my dirty water has been placed under the bottom of the heat stack. The leak is back again. Well, the hole is not there, but the leak is, the sewer is, the water is seeping out. And something needs to be done with all the, company trucks that's parked across the street, the buses, the, beer trucks, whatever, they're coming through all times of the night. And they, not slowing down over that bump, and they about to shake my house to death. And I know y'all fixing on the roads, but it's time for that street, something to be done. Before I came in, my pictures are already flipping off the wall because of the way they're coming through. Also, I came to a council meeting not long ago. You all need to come together. Y'all come in here with y'all attitudes, it makes the place hot. I noticed that night. It was so horrible. Y'all act like y'all had nails in your jaws, like you want to spit them on everybody. Calm. Y'all are council. We voted you in. We need y'all to act like adults and not children in here, and be calm with the people. And even though he's doing what he's doing, but you have to respect him anyway, because y'all want us to respect you. Now, the former administration sat in here, her legs crossed, she talked about y'all like anything. Y'all sit in here and laugh and get out and talk and let he and ha ha. That's what you did. But you y'all need to stop telling everybody your business. Whatever go on in your meetings, keep it to yourself. Don't go out calling this person and that person, because you say, I'm gonna tell you this, but I don't want you to say nothing. That friend you got a friend. And that friend got another friend. And all the council business is all over town. And y'all need to stop. You need to stop. I'm not being mean to others, but y'all need to come together and grow up. Because this is not right. You're just like, who said that? You? We voted y'all in. We trust y'all to take care of the business of the city. And that's what you all need to do. So stop, even though the mayor makes mistakes, we all make mistakes. Stop degrading him. So when you degrade him, you degrade yourself. So, like I say, just stop telling your business, whatever you discuss in your meeting, whatever he discussed with you, stop going around telling everybody. But just try to work together. Things are progressing in this city, but we need to get it together and let it be done right and in a godly way.
Thank you, Mr. Gladys. Wendy Dupont.
Wendy Williams DuPont. I'm with Bogalusa Rebirth. We are a private nonprofit organization. We're a certified CHODO, a community housing development organization. Our business address is 305 Avenue B. I'm going to take my time to read all my questions and make my comments. If you would, please make notes so that I don't lose any time. On April the 11th, city workers performed work at 618 Avenue E to include labor of at least 4 public works workers, backhoe equipment, and plumbing materials on private property owned by Trong Properties LLC, a corporation with the principal owner being Mayor Trong's mother, Thai Trong. Another adjudicated property on Sabine Street, now owned by the mayor's family, has also had work performed through Public Works. As a private nonprofit organization performing construction activities, we have been denied backhoe services to clean out ditches in areas of development by being told the equipment is broken. In photos now public, this equipment can be seen as fully operational. Can you provide a reasonable explanation why these services were performed on private property by Public Works? Can you provide reference to an ordinance allowing the city to perform repairs on private property, as we have several members of the community in our applicant pool for low-income taxpayers who need critical needs repairs that I would like to be placed on this list for assistance? At the February 23rd meeting, the council tabled an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Accusations, Inc. and D'Artagnan Sanders. I believe Mr. Sanders is in the room, in the back, where you're right. The city ledger indicates that Accusations, Inc. was paid in January before that council meeting, even though he was said to have been working on a volunteer basis, and has been paid since the council tabled the agreement. Mr. Sanders is still working for the city and currently has access to confidential records, though there is an investigation underway for his firing by a brokerage firm for taking out loans in corporations in which he controlled without permission. Can you provide information on the services provided by Mr. Sanders or related companies? Is Public Works employee James Morrison related to the mayor? And if so, what relation? Is there a policy or procedure in place to allow him to be a Public Works employee under the mayor's supervision? The mayor made a public statement that the fees awarded to the former mayor in yesterday's court proceedings were a far cry from what she requested, to imply that it was a win for the city. Can you explain your thoughts on why a more than $10,000 loss could be interpreted as a win for us taxpayers? As a concerned citizen of this city, I am apprehensive about how we are proceeding based on the information I have stated. In my opinion, the use of public works resources on private property has always been prohibited. Frankly, it's unethical for our mayor to use public works resources and information for his family's personal gain. With an agenda, bias, or political motive, I'm just concerned about the future of our city and feel strongly enough to speak publicly. My prayer is that voicing my concerns will not incite retaliatory behavior and that Bogalusa Rebirth can continue a collaborative relationship with the current administration and council to move the city forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tiffany. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll ask you one more time, when they get through, would you please not applaud or cheer on anyone. We've asked you at the beginning, and I'm not being prejudiced or anything else, but I'm asking. Oh, clapping and celebrating now. We know you've done a good job, said everything fine, that's great. Ms. Wendy, I cannot answer all your questions. I am a council person. I do not work under the supervision of our mayor. I don't know another council person that can answer that question for you. I can only tell you this, there's certain things that you have brought up tonight is being looked into. I can't answer those questions at this time about any of those questions. Does any other council person be able to address your question?
I can tell you this, that every time when something comes up, we do try to attempt to answer the administration. And if we do not get a fair, reasonable answer, therefore it goes to the top brass of the state of Louisiana. To answer your question, the top brass of the state of Louisiana is aware of everything that
I hope that satisfies your questions.
Who is the
Don't talk to me when you see, I've asked you to do that, step up to the podium, sweetheart, I'm asking you questions, please.
that the council is not supervising the mayor? Who does supervise the mayor?
I said, I don't work for the mayor, he don't supervise me. I didn't say I didn't supervise him. I don't supervise him, he don't work for me either. I work for the city of Bogalusa, I work for the citizens, but that's another question that we'll have to answer another day. I would answer it like this, somebody well above me. Well, he'll answer to those people, not me. I don't sign his check.
I want to add one thing. Mr. President, point of order. The state of Louisiana regulates what happens in this city. We have to answer the state of Louisiana. We're not kings or queens. The mayor's not a king. None of us. We're servants, public servants. That means information, when you ask for it, we have to deliver it in a timely manner according to state laws. There are other things here that have happened that the state calls us, like when there was an absence of the auditor, is what got the state Louisiana's attention. That was the biggest mistake that was made when the last auditor, I will not say his name, was let go by the city, by the administration, which is hired by the city council. That automatically triggered the state to start looking into things. That was not us, the state that stayed. We're starting to stabilize a little bit, and we're trying to get things back on track. We want to see houses pushed down. We want to see the streets paved and stuff like that. We're constantly getting bombarded with questions about potholes and ditches and all this other kind of stuff. We write out work orders all the time to our in the Public Works. I will tell you this, Public Works called us up because of the picture posting saying that the council does not respect the Public Works Department. We love the Public Works Department, and we know they're hardworking people. There's only about 16 Public Works employees in there right now, and those are hardworking people, including in down the hill. And they're sorting through a lot of things. And we love our Public Works, we love our fire department, and our police department. We don't want to see anybody leave. I was born and raised here. I actually live here. I want to remind you of that. The council up here, we actually live here. We actually born and raised.
Okay, your time is up.
Yes.
Motion is Darrell Smith.
It's Joseph Darrell Smith. My address is 1018 West 10th Street, Bogalusa. I'm here to speak on behalf of the majority of Bogalusa. We, although a majority, are still in the 1960s when it comes to equality. Council, never before have we seen such attacks on a mayor. Is it because of race? It could be, but I think it's more of a division along the lines of have and have-nots. As a representative of our people, you have to judge that for yourselves. It's not politically correct, but let's profile for a moment. Take a look at those who are making the accusations, litigating the cases, and ruling against the mayor. Coincidence? I think not. Privilege, power, and entitlement. We have a mayor who is speaking out against inequalities, elected to speak out against these equalities. In our water billing system, he came under attack. He wanted equality in the water billing system, and y'all attacked him, didn't support him. Some making statements that this isn't the way that other parishes do it. Who cares? This is Bogalusa. He's trying to make a difference. The already elected mayor asked the police chief to step up. A police chief who hasn't been on the job since day one. It wasn't an issue when Wendy moved Kendall Bullen up.
It's not do that, Mr. Smith.
Over experienced and senior officers.
I just asked
The guy
you,
on
don't
my
name names. Go ahead, man.
What happened when I asked for a body cam policy? Your previous city attorney and police chief ruled that it wasn't our business how they ran things. And our simpleton audience gave them a standing ovation for that. Do you think our local attorneys would have represented me pro bono unless I won in court? During that situation, I think not. Privilege. What are the statistics on our FOIA request that have been submitted within this administration versus the previous administration? Without reference, I can tell you that there's never been such a coordinated effort against the mayor to flood his office. Unprecedented attacks. Entitled, people are privileged. How many minorities have produced FOIA requests? 0. Don't be blind. Privilege making requests, privilege representing the cases, privilege ruling in the cases. These types of attacks are, although not racist, they are systematic in nature, designed to keep the poor people poor and the rich people in power. Fortunately for us, in 2023, the have-nots are a majority. Thank the Lord. The scripture tells us to mark those who are causing division within the church. We have to do the same for those causing division within the city, within our city. Identify those who are a detriment, an attorney, a judge, a business owner, those that support or passively ignores what's going on should be protested and boycotted. The council should recognize that Better Call Saul isn't good for our city. Recognize that the crumbs thrown from these masters' tables isn't making them Bogalusa's angels, but rather wolves in sheep's clothing. Recognize and keep track, lest we forget, when a city council member says no to what we voted for. Hold them accountable. In conclusion, I'm not going to answer any questions.
Please, man, please, Darren, please. I know, please don't. When did you come back in? You never left? Come on up here, Mr. David. Come on. Almost got
So I'm gonna start, I'm gonna start with the backhoe. I have been asking for 10 years to get my insurance done, and I have been told, I'm sorry, they're in the file 414 Mississippi. I have been told by the previous mayor over and over again that they were broke, they were working in another neighborhood, they would get to us eventually, so this is an ongoing issue. It is not new, and it did not happen this time. We don't know what other mayors have done in terms of doing work on private property. We have no idea. I got to talk, I wasn't planning on doing any of this, but I gotta tell you, I wake up every day and think about how horrible this situation is, how hurtful and mean-spirited and ugly this is. It shames me that people can act like that. I mean, I can't even begin to describe how, and then to watch and hear and see you all do it is so unacceptable. I can't even tell you how upset I am. I have just experienced, you know better. You know better. That is no way to treat the citizens who voted in him. There's no way to treat the people who are sitting in this audience. There's no way to treat the mayor. You should be really, really ashamed of yourself. You've gotten hooked up with all these people and their petty, nasty, ugly things that they're doing, and you've been infected. I've got to tell you and call you out for it. I've read all those horrible comments, and you all should be ashamed. Just everybody in this audience should be ashamed. That's not being Christian. That's not being the kind of people we want to be. And I'm going to speak up for the people who voted in it, and you guys are trashing them. You know, and I'm sorry, you know, this is racist. This is pure racism. And those of you on the city council who are black ought to be ashamed of betraying your people the way you did today. You should be totally ashamed. As far as the problems between you and the mayor, find a way to work it out. Good heavens. Work it out. Get it to the media. Get the work it out. Don't sit there and say we can't do it. You are adults in your house and pick to fix it. So fix it. I don't care how you do it. But the attitude, Mark, you looking away from me and giving me those looks is exactly what I'm talking about. And you should be ashamed. And you smiling and thinking it's funny should be ashamed too, because it's not funny. And you don't know, are you thinking about the people who walked out and how they felt? They didn't walk out just for the heck of it. They walked out because of how you behaved tonight. You know, and you find a way to fix this. And stop listening to all these people who like being upset, who like causing problems. You know, this has got to stop. You all should be ashamed. I am ashamed of you. And I will work on a big competition if this does not get fixed, and I promise you I will. Okay, every single last one of you, I will put up for recall. Every single one of you, if you guys don't find a way to work with me, I'm done.
You may do that. I'll help you. I'll give you my first name. This is B. Now. Except for now, we're gonna have council discussion, if there is any. We're gonna start off council discussion off with Councilman Mark Irvin. Thank you, Mark.
I was nice enough to give you, so thank you.
That's enough, Mark. Go ahead, sir.
Now, I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. I want to appreciate that everyone, some people's got differences of opinion, but let's state facts here. Firing our auditor back in January was a mistake. We would have had a budget back in March. It would have been balanced, correct, and would have been passed by April. So that's a fact. So folks, I'm going to just tell you, you just pray for the city of Bogalusa, pray for the healing of it. I know we have differences of opinion here, but we have definitely looked over our budget. We've had outside people look at the budget, independent firms that's not even familiar with the budget, and it definitely has errors. And so we're working on trying to rectify that, so we'll have a passable budget. We want to thank you very much. God bless each and every one of you, even if you have a difference of opinion with me. God bless each and one of you. Have a nice evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Temple.
I just want to thank the police and fire departments for all their hard work. Thank you all for coming. Have a good night.
We have Councilwoman James.
Thank you, everyone. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Decisions that have been made tonight have not been easy decisions to make, but we did have items that were brought forth. That's not to say they cannot come back. They will come back. But it will come back. But in your prayers, we want to steer, the council wants to be steered correctly, and we want the mayor to be steered correctly as well. It's very disturbing, when you hear certain things out there and you're hoping and you're praying that it's not. So just keep us in your prayers, and Miss you mentioned tonight who was the mayor's boss. Now, we're not anyone's boss, as Councilman indicated, but a section from the charter that is under section 206, according to section 206 investigation. Council by favorable vote of at least 2/3 of its authorized membership may make investigation into affairs of any and the conduct affairs of the city and the conduct of any city official, officer, employee, department, office, or agency, and for this purpose may subpoena witnesses, administer oaths, take testimony, and require the production of evidence. The council may provide by ordinance for the punishment of a misdemeanor of a person for the willful failure or refusal to obey such subpoena or request for evidence. Investigations shall be for specified purposes. And that's within the ramification of the council. Show an investigation. God bless everyone.
Vice President.
Good night.
Thank you for that. I just want to say thank everyone for coming. Oh, I'll let you know that. You say go there. Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out, taking time out of your busy schedules. Let's remember to continue to pray for our mayor, our council, for each other, your neighbor. For those bereaved families, it's at their door now. It can be at our door tonight. So let's just remember to keep each other lifted in prayer. May God continue to bless each and every one of you, and have a blessed night.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. I just want to say thank everyone for coming. Miss Gladys, I'm sorry, this is the only look I got. I'm sorry. I'm ugly, I don't mean to ugly and hurt anybody's feelings by the way I look. That's just me. I'm sorry. I offended by the way I look. I probably had it my wife all the time. The questions that was asked, I appreciate your questions. I hope we answer the best of our abilities. Mayor's not against us, we just didn't do things the way he wants us, the way it's supposed to go. We gotta follow the. We're gonna do what we can to make it right. He'll be with us when it's all said and done, we'll be with him when it's all said and done, but we gotta walk the walk and talk the talk, we gotta do it right. If it ain't gonna be right, I'm not for it, I don't give a rat's foot who it. If it ain't right, we're not for it. Y'all have a good night, next meeting will be when? 20th of this month. Y'all have a good night, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.